really should be. Because bless all the people who take in pets into their lives and give these animals like a life that they would never receive anywhere else without you. I mean, there is no happy pet day. I'm gonna talk about some more talk. I'm good. I'm live. I'm good. I'm live. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, consistent singles, consistent success. And yes, that is ultimate happiness, especially when you are a day trader, something that a lot of traders not making money are having a lot of difficulty to find. I'm going to show you exactly how to find that. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Whoops. Sorry about that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So many great things to talk about today. I know today is Father's Day, and what I really want to say about Father's Day and just all these really cool things, because I think it does shape you as a trader, and I'm going to show you what I learned from it and how it changed me and morphed me into the strategies and the way I trade today, and what it ultimately means to be a successful trader as a result of these things. I am going to bring you one step closer to getting there. But first, before going into all of that, you are agreeing to hold me, Mark Melnick, and T3 Live harmless and not responsible for anything. If you do not agree to that, just leave this video, and if you do agree to it, you don't have to say another word. Sit back, grab some popcorn, enjoy the show, take down a pen and paper, write some notes as well, and we're just going to go ahead and talk about some of the things today. Really trading, what really changed for me as a trader, especially in the past like 4.5 to 5.5 years. I guess it was 5 years. It sort of was like a transformational period. So you begin to transform one day, and then that transformation could last like a year until where you are today. So it's like this ongoing transformational process. And I think this is one of the very underappreciated things in trading. I think it's too easy for somebody to just show you a chart. Here's the buy, here's where I'd sell. I think the market goes up. I think the market goes down. I think we go sideways. And I could do a lot of that on a chart. I do. And I'll actually give you my thoughts for next week in trade. Remember what I said? We were going to break last week's high and then pull back, and it was going to look similar to the last week that we hit the 200 moving average and bounce. So I'm actually going to show you what hopefully is a phenomenally accurate weekly picture of what the Qs are going to look like next week. I'll get to that in a moment, but I do want to talk about consistent singles and how it really leads to consistent success as a trader. I feel so many traders. I think there's this, and for some people, maybe it works, and I'm sure there are periods of where it does. But as an active intraday trader, I will tell you the vast majority of the people cannot do these things. And these things are just simply let your winners ride, cut your losers short. I could even explain to you how to do that, but it's not going to help you. I could show you my favorite chart patterns, but it's not going to help you. I could show you what I'm predicting next. That could potentially help you. But what's going to really help you is the way you really approach day trading from a psychological perspective. Everybody agrees that trading is a very highly, the majority of the issues with trading come down to psychological things. And while I think that is very true, I actually want to offer true answers on how to solve it. Now, you might be saying, Mark, you're not a board certified psychologist. You might go ahead and say that to me. You might say, what qualifies you to talk about it? All I do is read studies on the internet and build logical bridges between trading and those psychological studies. And then I combine the two, produce it into something because I know trading and the studies know the studies, the people, the doctors, the scientists who wrote those psychological studies. I could take their work and I could take my work and I could create a product and make it even better. And that is the whole purpose of what I am doing here. So when you're asking about qualifications, it would really just be my qualification of really conjoining two things together. And if you know me as a trader for the past 20 years, it's one of the things that I do extremely well. So on the psychological aspect, I think it's really, I want to get rid of the phrase officially as today. I never want anybody to say it again. Let your winners ride and cut your losers short. That is some of the most impossible things to do in trading. Now, even though we have a methodology and we do that every day, we don't really I don't really believe in an environment where we're just going up and down. And again, I'll just show you the chart. So even take last week, made money every single day last week. It was phenomenal. But look, here's Monday to Friday. Look at that on the daily. Here, I'll show you weekly. I know I have a lot of trend lines drawn. Just look at the weekly. The Qs put in a $3.46 range. Compare that last week when we called the dead bottom before the market opened the prior day. And we had a 12.5 point range that week. Comparing 12.5 to $3.46. I mean, that's a little less, but about 4 times more of a range. Rounded off last week on the Qs. So take that mentality right there and say, let your winners ride. Try to apply that mentality that week. That week was all about cut your winners and losers short. You shouldn't be one of the biggest mistakes traders do, and this is going to be your aha moment. And tell me if you've ever heard this one before. I mean, besides coming from me, of course. Tell me if you've ever heard this before. You should be basing your trades not by stop loss and take profit. You should be you should be judging your trades on a time basis. You buy a position, how long were you planning on holding that position? Whether you're sideways or whether you're up a little, whether you're down a little, up, down. You should be looking at your trades in terms of time, not dollar amount. And that sort of throws people off, but with, programming algorithmic boxes, one of the most important things to do beyond just telling the algo how to trade and the black box what to do and what to do on an automated basis, but when you actually start doing it on a time basis, saying after this amount of time, what is the next step? Do you throw away the position? Do you tighten? Do you start dramatically raising your stop loss, like in terms of in your favor, where you'd lose less if you got stopped out? Like what is the proper procedure at that point? Because these are the things that all these chart patterns will never ever talk about. It's so easy to look at a chart pattern and describe it in layman's terms, which again is the most valueless thing in the world. Like I could come to you very easily on a daily chart of even the spiders, and I could simply say, well, look, we were falling here, we had bearish volume. Look, we hit an algorithmic support on Monday and we rallied, and that was a really nice near-term bottom of the market. And I could go and I could tell you these things, but instead what I do is I come to you right here on Sunday before this day opens, telling you on Sunday I'm buying at the close on Monday. And we pulled down, and if you remember what I said in the video, if it goes down even more, that would be perfect because we'd be buying even cheaper. And what I'm also saying is you didn't have to hold for this entire move up. I didn't. I caught a nice chunk. I did really damn well. I didn't do this well in terms of I didn't catch 12 points on the triple Qs. But who said you ever had to? What if trading was all about consistent singles? What if trading was all about consistent success? People like to talk consistency, but the easiest way to be consistent is something that is very easy with nobody in your way. You want to know the easiest thing in basketball is? It's a layup. It's a free throw shot with nobody blocking you. It's not a 3-point shot. Trading is a similar way. You do not have to be the person who could be Steph Curry. Analogically, see, watch me combine the two together. Analogically, you don't have to be the trader who always lets your winners run and always cuts your losers short. I always love that one. Cut your losers short. So the way this industry actually approaches that, if you haven't realized, is giving you a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 risk reward. Oh, you bought at 50, put your stop at 49.50, and your take profit at 51.50, and that's 3-to-1 in your favor. And you're like, damn, that makes sense. Risk 50 cents to make $1.50? Yeah, I'll do that. But what are the odds that you're going to win that $1.50? That is the whole point that they don't tell you. And that is how people try to apply the cut your winners, cut your losers short and let your winners ride. The truth is, I was happy, even though I did hit a couple really big plays. Those aside, just on the single basis, like I don't want to talk about like our BlackBerry call when I was telling you BlackBerry was, going to be amazing because it had an awesome story behind it, and BlackBerry put in with no news this day on June 12th, us talking about it on the Newsbeat show the night before, put in 18.9 million shares of volume. Now, how on earth did that happen? How on earth did you know? I didn't know. That's the thing. But it was a good risk reward. That's why I bought into it 3 times after I bought it initially. And I held it overnight. But here's the thing. Where do these random acts come from? Where do these random acts come from? What I'm saying is trading is not about home runs. Yes, we hit them here. Probably hit them here better than most places. Simply because we understand we have a system developed for conviction behind the ideas. It's so funny when traders are like, I wish I should have taken more of that, or I should have taken less of that, or whatever. Most traders don't know how to rate their own conviction of their trades. They'll look at a chart pattern and think every bull flag was created equally on any given day. Let me know how your results work going after that. Let me know how your results work after going after just these chart patterns, these magical 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chart patterns. You do any of these chart patterns and you're gonna make money. I could say that about anything. Do you realize that? And there'll be times where I'm right and wrong. I'll prove it to you. Okay. Every earnings that closes with a red bar on the day before they report, you short, and every earnings that closes with a green bar after the day they report, go long. Imagine I told that statement to you. You'd be like, huh? Okay. Well, I mean, you know how many people would make money off of that? And you know how many people would lose money off of that? Do you have any idea how effective that is? To use something with a 50% probability and pick a direction? You put me in front of 10,000 people, 5,000 of them are going to swear by me. Do you understand that? Do you understand how that works? But that is not the thing that brings the most people value. And by the way, 5,000 won't swear by me. Even if 5,000 made money, maybe the industry average is 8%. More accurately, about 80 people would say that this Mark Melnick guy is phenomenal if I told you that blanket statement. If I gave you the blanket statement, go in tomorrow and just buy the first green name, the biggest up move green name you see, go long at 9:30 a.m. and go short the biggest down red name you see. On any given day, I'm going to look really smart or really stupid. But I'm not going to be batting 70% telling you that. So if you want to be a consistent trader, you need fewer trades, more accuracy. I'll give you an example. If you wanted to be a consistent basketball player, would you rather shoot one shot, drain a three-pointer, or shoot 9 shots and hit 2 3-pointers or 3 3-pointers? Think about that. Yeah, one gave you more wins, but also more losses. In trading, when you miss those 3-point shots, you lose money. Do you understand? I would rather be 1 for 1 any day of the week than 10 for 20, even if that 10 for 20 meant I made more money. Suffering losses cause psychological toxicity. The most exciting thing for me this week was not the P&L. That was a far second to everything. The consistency. That is all that's needed. You know how many traders struggle to find happiness who have losing accounts and the situations they're in? Suffering from depression, suffering from, and you might say, Mark, you know, you're not a doctor. How are you diagnosing these people with it? And you'll have some of you out there who think that. But when you spend all weekend on the phone, and I still didn't get to everybody on the phone, when you spend all weekend on the phone reaching out to people and calling them, I mean, you see every single angle of every single trader, and the truth is, you're all unique individuals. And there's not one blanket strategy out there that works for everyone. So my job is I want to give you, anytime I'm talking about something, I want to be right every single time. That's not going to happen, obviously. But if that is the goal of what I am doing, and of course preventing you from blowing up, I'm not talking about being right, like shorting calls. People like to short options and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, a lot of them will make money like 90, 95% of the time. But the one time they are wrong, they blow out. Or they'll tell you that they're backing it, whatever. Like they'll blow out. It's just a matter of when, not if. And I guess just being around 20 years, you just seen it long enough. Those traders don't last. They don't last the test of time because one day they just happen to unluckily be in the wrong position. And it happens. A breaking news story comes out. How do you prevent that? You buy something in the morning. You could tell yourself you're comfortable buying a stock at a certain price, and you could say the risk is covered like that. But I mean, come on, give me a break. What are you going to do? Are you going to take Apple, for example, and say, well, I'm going to short two calls or short two puts against it, but I'll leave $36,000 to buy Apple in case they assign me it. So what's the point? So you don't see, like, for example, Apple with a $3,000 loss, you just own the shares that are currently down $3,000. So if your trade doesn't work, you're supposed to become a long-term investor. Am I the only one who sees the complete and utter idiocy of doing this? Is that me? Look, I'm entitled to my opinion. Tell me something different. Tell me from the thousands and thousands of premium collectors, is what we used to call them. Premium collectors. And look, some of them do a really good job, and some of them nail it, and it's fine, and some of them attach it really lightly. But I'm telling you, just doing a bunch of overnight short options, you are taking that risk that news is going to come out. You always are. And it's going to work with you or against you, either way. And it's going to, the one day you're wrong, you're going to give away a large percentage of your profits. I don't care what people are sometimes like, yeah, I'm risking only 10% of the options value or 20% of the options value. And I'm like, no, you're not. What are you smoking, bro? If you're taking it overnight, if there's bad news the next day, options don't trade 24/7. You didn't hit a stop loss as the company was plummeting against you. So what do you mean you're risking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of the option? You're risking 100% of the option. That's the only thing that you could be sure of. So when you see all these strategies out there, what I did was I created a unique set of strategies that are applicable to the best trading, highest consistency ratio, highest hit rate names out there. What I will do is I will actually look and not vomit 10 names. I'll try to choose one, maybe two names and say, I'm going to apply these strategies that you already know to this name today. You already see in the future what I want to trade before I trade it. You guys know exact. If I told you I was watching Apple tomorrow in the morning, if I came out in the market and there was some positive Apple news story, whatever, what's the first trade I'd be looking to do? Everyone in the room knows. What's the second trade, the third trade, the fourth trade, the fifth trade? I'd want to do an Apple tomorrow intraday before I see anything. And every single person in the room will be like, this one, the one and done, the high one, the know your limit 8, the 5 minute, the Mark 5 strategy. They're going to they know everything before it happens. That is the whole point of being consistent. Applying algorithmically sound strategies, statistically high hit rate strategies in the current environment, and applying it to the best news names out there. Again, the easiest thing. You're buying a stock today? Okay, do you want the market to be going up or down after you buy it? Everybody says up, right? Do you want your stock to have positive news or negative news or no news if you're buying it? Positive news, of course. I mean, these are the way people talk. So what I do is if you're looking for all those things and you prefer all those things, Why wouldn't you just go after all those things? And that is the intricacies of combining technical analysis with news. And it really creates something that is so special and unique. And the funny thing is, regardless, I am not the same trader I am today as I was 6 months ago, and 6 months before that, and then maybe 12 months before that. I keep shifting and evolving with the market. Whether I did or did not do well, I did well every month, by the way. But if I did not do well on any given week or month, or I did do phenomenal on any week or month, that doesn't mean I'll be phenomenal the next day. Trading is all about an algorithmic arms race. There we go. I'll coin the term. Well, you know how they say like a nuclear arms race? Algorithmic arms race. AAR. Algorithmic arms race. And what happens is the algos keep changing, but slightly, until something big happens as a result of a lot of them changing very slightly. And then all of a sudden, the Mark V strategy booms up. And people are crushing every single IPO and every single name we're watching with phenomenal, some of them 100% consistency rate in the last 2 weeks doing nothing but Mark V strategies. Now, I know it's not 100%, but if it's 90 or 80 in this environment, and it's way over 70, but even 70, bring it on, right? That is how we evolve with the market. You design new ways to make money using the smartest things you can, using the things that work. Traders who just will use the same set of this is bullish, this is bearish chart pattern are subject to the statistical frequencies of successful setups in the current environment. Don't believe me? You don't know the answer to that anything you do. None of you do it. None of you do this type of work. I'll prove it. Oh, Mark, oh, I do a lot of work. What is he talking about? I'll prove it right now. What percentage of your bull flags worked for 2019? How about last week? How about the week before? How about the week before? Like, does anybody know the answer to that question? Ooh, I don't know. How much money did you make? How much money did you lose? What did it combine out to? Do any of you know the answer to that for how you traded off 5 minute bull flags this month, this week, yesterday, Friday? No, most of you don't, and that's okay. I'm not jumping out at you. I'm just telling you that this is the type of things that you must take into account when following any strategy. There are market environments where it will work, and there are market environments where it will fail. And it's a simple numbers game. And when one of the strategies work, they'll just be spitting it out and whatever, whatever. And by the time you try it, it already stopped working and people are losing money on it. How funny is that? Not at all. It's sad. That's why we're having this tough man to man Father's Day love talk. Father's Day is just about fathers as is it mothers, as it is pet owners, as it is anything. Anyone taking care of a family member, anybody who is caring for any living thing. I don't care if it's a, a bunch of plants on your window. I'm serious. Anybody who puts in the love and care to take care of something else is at an inherent advantage in trading. When people ask me, I get the question all the time, Mark, these plants produce a lot of oxygen in the room. They really produce a lot of oxygen. Should I keep these things in the room to help me stay more alert? And I'm like, I tell them yes, but I said it's not for the oxygen, as it's the byproduct of everything a plant does, photosynthesis, etc. Anyway, I tell them that so they could take care of a living thing around them. When you have that sort of responsibility, you do smarter trades. When you're not caretaking for some living thing, you are definitely, from what my numbers and the things I look up, you are definitely more likely to do a lot more trades. When I trade a whole day, Like I come out and I could look at a computer screen like at this point, 20 years as a active intraday trader, if I didn't burn out now, I'm never burning out. That's the way I see it. But at the end of the day, if I'm sitting there actively like all day taking setup, just even holding positions and looking at the screen, your brain is somewhere else at the end of the day. You're not going to be able to, you're going to have to struggle to find motivation to do other things when you're feeling like that. So everything we do here is about statistical win rate, keeping your psychology clean, making money consistently. Making money consistently is how you become a millionaire as a trader. Period. I don't care. All right, you want to tell me the one story about the one dude who invested all his money in this one company and it happened to work and he became a millionaire? God bless him. That's not the person I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about the person pulling seven figures as an active intraday trader. Those are the people who do not care about their P&L. They just care of exactly what I am talking about. I am not only a blueprint, it's like I'm not only a client for these types of traders, but, I'm also president or whatever, however that commercial goes. I am literally sharing with you not only the blueprint to become this wealthy as a trader, I'm giving you the blueprint for how to live life outside of trading as well. What you do outside of trading has a very huge impact on what you do inside trading. You know that if you're in a stressful situation around you, making money is nearly impossible. Is nearly impossible. No, I'm the type of trader. I just leave it all at the door when I come in. And look, maybe there is that one or two, traders out there who just really know how to turn off that switch. Most of us don't. Most of us do not. And that is the important thing to note here. Just keep hitting singles, keep applying the Newsbeat algorithmic strategies. We're going to have an open house next week. Definitely check it out. Not this week, but the week after. But how many opportunities are you going to miss by not being here this week as well? Probably a lot if it looks anything like the past 2 weeks. Look for those singles. I am officially abolishing let your winners ride, cut your losers short. No, people who let their winners ride, let their losers ride. People who cut their winners short, cut their bad trade short, unless they do something stupid like start doubling and tripling, quadrupling down. Short of that type of trader, which is a real thing and a horrible thing, and we cure that too here. We cure that too by spacing out consistent trades so nobody ever feels like they miss out. Just look at any of the names. Apply the one and done to them. Apply the know your limit. Apply the algorithmic strategies we share, including the Newsbeat Live Room exclusive Mark 5. Try to really apply these strategies and see how they work. See how they work on the names we trade. Also look at them of how they work on the names you trade. You might actually say, wow, this is amazing. I have to do this. A lot of traders in the room are coming to that conclusion. So what I wanted to ultimately share with you is singles, hitting a bunch of singles. Yes, we do hit it out of the park. I didn't want to go into those types of ideas right now. I wanted to focus more on the small 100,000, two, three, four, $5,000 trades, scalping off one and done, scalping off Mark fives, just like really nice, easy, simple, you're up money immediately type trading. That is going to be the ultimate recipe for happiness. Take it from me. That is how people really get over the hump. That's how people get rid of their toxic thoughts. You need wins. You have to get comfortable with the feeling of winning. And when you win and win and win, and you do it a lot more than you lose, you're going to notice a transformational shift in you as a trader. You're going to get turned off by the stupid strategies you were doing before that were losing you money. You're going to look at them and you're going to have a feeling of disgust. Literally, your brain's going to literally release a neurological concoction of chemicals unique for that situation, communicating with your amygdala as well, and flush it down into your body. That is scientifically what's going to happen when you see these stupid trades, and that is going to cause your feeling of disgust. You're going to know what it feels like to win again, and that is the first step to ultimate trader happiness and success. Levels for tomorrow, bang, right there. Bang, right there. Yeah, these levels don't always hit. When I buy them, I usually do it through support. When I short them, I usually do it through resistance, and I tend to make money consistently doing it. Those levels are only valid for tomorrow, June 17th. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I know I missed a lot of the calls. God, I have to find my paper. I have like a list somewhere here. I'll eventually find it. Don't worry. But I'm not going to be doing the calls tonight. I'm going to have to probably be doing them throughout the week. So what we're doing here is, calling a lot of traders, making sure they're all up to speed, making sure that they're taken, care of in terms of somebody to talk to, making sure that they have somebody to, um, you know, speak about their issues with, whether they're making or not making money, just so we could find a unique solution for them. And that is the power of having ultimately somebody who cares about you and understands you on the other end. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, wouldn't that be what Father's Day is about? I hope you guys enjoyed the Newsbeat show. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.